Hello, my name is Courage Christian Tete, CCT for short. I'm the lead consultant for CCT Business Consult and Events. And at CCT Business Consult and Events, we do a number of stuff. We help people with business registration. We help people process their personal documents like birth cert, affidavit, gazette documents, passport, and what have you, a number of stuff. We do business branding. But today, I'm here to talk to you about business registration in Ghana, the various structures and how to know the structure to go for if you are desiring to register a business in Ghana. I'll talk about 4 structures: sole proprietorship, partnership, company limited by shares, and company limited by guarantee. There are some general requirements that everyone who wants to register a business in Ghana needs to meet, regardless of which structure you are going for. 2 of those ones are you must have a Ghana card. In addition to having a Ghana card, you must have tax identification number, which you call TIN. All the GRA offices all over Ghana will tell you that your Ghana card is the same as your TIN, but that does not apply when it comes to business registration. So there is a GRA office in the office, the Registrar General's office. They are the one mandated to now process TIN for you if you want to register a business. Now let's begin with sole proprietorship. Like the name suggests, it's a sole proprietor, one-man business. The ownership is limited to one person. Only one person can register that business. And it is usually for freelancers, small businesses, artisans, and what have you. If you want to register, you must get a business name, you must get a residential address, and you must get your business address. These are important because you cannot register a particular place as your business address and be operating at a different place. So these are important documents. If the important particulars, if your business registration, the office of the business changes, you must go back and file for change of particulars. But let's go into the sole proprietorship itself. The first thing is the name. The name must be unique. It must not be registered by a different entity. It must not be similar in writing or similar in sound. So if you go to register a company and they tell you the name is not going to be accepted, there is nothing you can do about it. You just have to quickly change the name. So for those of you who have sentimental attachment to some names already that you have not registered, if they tell you the name will not be accepted, be it sole proprietorship, partnership, company limited by share, or company limited by guarantee, please just go ahead and change. And after you have provided the rest of the details that are needed, they just go ahead and register a company for you. You pay a small fee. It is cheaper as compared to all the rest of the business registration, business forms in Ghana. And for sole proprietorship, what is good about it is that it is easy to operate. The regulatory compliance when it comes to registering sole proprietorship is not so cumbersome. And if you fail to renew, there's no penalty. If you fail to renew for 5 years, you just pay the penalty per year times the number of years that you have defaulted. If you move to partnership is more or less like sole proprietorship, but in this case, not for one proprietor, it's for more than 2 to 20 people. In Ghana, 2 to 20 people can register as partnership here in Ghana. It is easy to operate and cheaper as compared to companies, either be it shares or guarantee. For you to register a partnership in Ghana, you must first of all have what we call the partnership deed. And what the partnership deed does is that it stipulates how profits and loss will be shared, and it stipulates the decision-making power of the partners, how they will resolve conflict and what have you. The disadvantage of the partnership is that unless otherwise stated in the partnership deed, if one person states that they are no longer interested in the partnership, then automatically the partnership is dissolved. That is the disadvantage of it. And the disadvantage of the sole proprietorship, which I failed to mention, is that if the business goes into a loss, the sole proprietor would have to take their personal money to pay, because the liability is not limited to the business. It goes beyond the business to the owner. Now, aside the sole proprietorship and the partnership, which usually you are not charged penalty if you fail to file to renew, you go to company. From company, that is where the regulatory requirement is strict. Before you even say you want to register a company in Ghana, you must get an external auditor. Now, if you want to register a company limited by share, you need to be introduced by an external auditor. You need to fill the form. You need 2 directors at least, or a director and a shareholder. Or these people can also be the same person. But you need a director, you need a shareholder or shareholders or directors. You need what you call this as a company secretary. Then you fill the form, you get your business name. I failed to talk about the activities of a business. If you want to register a business, the Registrar General Department would expect that you specify exactly what your business is being registered to do, be it sole proprietorship, partnership, or company. So you must state exactly what you are trying to do. And after you have registered, you cannot go and do a different thing, away from what you have registered to do. So you have to state those one too when you are registering a company. Then, just like the other type of business, you provide your business address for all the directors. You provide a residential address for all the directors. Then you state your capital. We call it stated capital. You can state 5,000. You can state 10,000. You can state 20,000. That one depends on you. Then after you state what your capital will be, the Registrar General Department would expect that you will pay 1% of your stated capital. So aside what you will be charged, the legal fees you are supposed to pay for registering the company, you will be required to pay 1% of your stated capital. So if you state 5,000 as your stated capital, that will be 50 Ghana cedis. If you state 10,000 Ghana cedis, that will be 100 Ghana cedis. Now, unlike sole proprietorship, where you are not charged penalty for failing to file your annual returns or failing to renew, for company limited by share, if you fail to file your annual returns after you are due, then there is a penalty. Currently, the penalty is 1,000 Ghana cedis. 1,000 Ghana cedis if you fail to renew. So that is what you need to pay attention to, and the regulatory requirements. It is strict as compared to sole proprietorship. These are the things you need to know. Then you move to the company limited by guarantee. The company limited by guarantee is not profit in nature. So these are associations, NGOs, churches. This is how they register as a company limited by guarantee. But you don't register an NGO at the office of the Registrar General. You don't do that there. Where you gain an NGO status, it are the non-profit secretariat, or the Department of Social Welfare, their non-profit secretariat. That is where you file a form to become an NGO. The other thing I want to talk about before we finally bring this conversation to an end is the fact that there is a business structure that is being called social enterprise. Currently in Ghana, there's no legal category of a business called social enterprise. It is not recognized by our law. But what it means is that it is normally not a matter of the structure. It's a matter of their model of operation. So they are the people who make profit, but the profit is reinvested into doing social work. They are mission-oriented organizations. So some NGOs call them social enterprise because instead of being a non-profit organization in nature, they make profit, but that profit is reinvested into the organization. They don't declare dividend and share money among the owners. So basically, that is what I have to say. I must also mention that in the sight of the law, if you register a company, the company is seen as a separate legal entity. It is not the same as the owners. The owner is seen differently, the company is seen differently. So the advantage of registering a company limited by share, whose liabilities is limited to the shares that are the contributions of the shareholders, or company limited by guarantee, which liability is limited to the amount guaranteed, the liability of the company does not extend beyond the amount guaranteed or the shares that are stated. your personal properties are protected, your personal assets are protected. This is an advantage when it comes to companies. But however, the regulatory requirement is strict. That is what you have to know. With that said, I hope that this little conversation that we have had has given you a little education on what the structures are when you want to register a business in Ghana. And so if you want to register, the question you need to ask yourself is that, are you the only one registering the company? Is it profit oriented in nature? Are you ready to run the company and be compliant when it comes to the regulatory requirement that exists in Ghana? So thank you very much for listening, and once again, my name is Karisi Tete. I'm the lead consultant for CCT Business Consult and Event. If you think that there is something that we haven't said in this video and it is salient or it is important that we say that, please put it in the comment section for others to also read and add to what they have read or what they have listened from our end. Thank you very much.